Hi, I'm just going to show you how I make a bias binding. You're going to start with a fat quarter here, and I've just straightened up the sides so it's a perfect 90-degree angle on each corner. So here's how I do it. I take the fat quarter and I fold it like this. There's going to be, of course, an extra little piece there because it's not a square. Now you're going to take your ruler and you're going to cut a straight line from this bottom up to the top. So you just line up your ruler here till it's straight and take a cut. And you have two different pieces here, and you're going to continue cutting 2 1/4 inches. Oops. And another 2 1/4 inches. And you're going to cut 2 1/4 inches until you get a little piece left here. And then you're going to turn this piece over, and you're going to do the same thing on this side. You're going to cut 2 1/4 all the way until you're finished. Then you're going to have a whole bunch of little strips like this. And I am not going to cut the whole thing right now. I'll just show you with these 2 strips here. So what you're going to do is fit them together kind of like a puzzle. So this one would go with that one. Flip it like this and pin it like this. And then what you're going to do is stitch it from here to here on the sewing machine. And you're going to do that with all of your strips. And go over to the ironing board. And all of the seams you're going to be pressing open. Of course, I only have one here. So press the seam open. And then just trim off those little pieces. And I'm going to be showing you how to make a bias binding without any special tools. There are tools, something like this maybe, and I'll assume that if you have a tool, you know how to use it already, but basically you run it through like this and press it. But if you don't have a tool, it's okay, you can still make bias binding. So you first are going to press this in half. You've pressed it in half. I'm going to open it up again. And I'm going to press the edge into the center like this. Both edges into the center. Sorry. You have both toward the center, you're almost finished. You're going to be pressing it in half again. When you press it in half, you're going to make sure that you leave about a 32nd of an inch overlap on the back side. It's going to come up a 32nd of an inch past. And there's a reason for that, and that's when you sew your bias binding on, you will always catch the back. So it's an important part of making your bias binding. And that's how you make bias binding. It's a little stretchy. It's perfect.